the first and foremost, I want to congratulate you on the overwhelming success of Night Raiders. Had the opportunity of seeing it. It's a very powerful movie. And coming off of our first National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, very timely. I'd actually like to start with that. This was the first time we marked that occasion. I'm curious if you're willing to share what you did on the 30th.
Yeah, I actually was traveling to the Vancouver International Film Festival to screen the film on the 30th. So it was a travel day for me. But once I got to Vancouver, and in the morning before I left, I was watching the live feed of what was happening at Parliament Hill and all of the leaders speaking to marking such an important historical day. And then when I went to Vancouver, I went to the Vancouver Art Gallery where they have all of the, there's like an installation of children's shoes and little stuffed animals on the steps. And it's very powerful and moving to be there and to like see the visual impact of all of those little shoes all in one place. It just makes you incredibly emotional.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now obviously I want to talk to you about Night Raiders. Tell me about the development of this film, because it seemed to have been several years since your last project until this one. So I can appreciate where the inspiration came from, but I'm very interested in the development of this project.
Yeah, I started writing it in 2013, and I felt as though the conversation around residential schools was definitely not where it needed to be. And so I felt like, people just didn't want to hear about it. And so I felt like we needed to tell stories about it. And so I endeavored to start writing it. And then as I went through the process, like in 2015, the TRC Commission released their findings, and I think it changed everything in terms of the national consciousness around it. But one thing that was interesting at that time is that all of the media seemed to go immediately over to reconciliation, when, to me, I felt like we hadn't really stopped closely enough to look at the truth. And now here we are years after the TRC first released their report. And we've been hearing all of the reports of the children being uncovered at graves across Canada. And to me, we are still very much in the truth-telling phase of things, and that it is so important that before we even go over to touch reconciliation, that we really have to begin to grapple with the truth of what happened, both for reflection to say that this is real and this happened, but also that acknowledgement really is what allows communities to heal. It's really important that we say this happened here.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I saw a wonderful film several years ago called Indian Horse, which was my first real introduction to the understanding of residential schools, because admittedly, that's not something, even though born and raised here in Canada, that I wasn't taught. Last week, my way of honoring the holiday was spending time with my family and watching a film called We Were Children. Again, another powerful film. So I guess my question is, do you not feel that these are films, including yours, that should be shown in schools so we have a better opportunity to educating the youth in terms of residential schools?
Yeah, absolutely. I think film is an incredibly powerful tool for education. And I think, we need to have this curriculum in our schools. It's no accident that people didn't hear about it. It was a part of a deliberate cover-up to erase the fact that this happened. And this history is not very far back. The last school closed in the 90s. So the fact that many Canadians, hadn't heard about residential schools, or maybe are just hearing about them, is crazy, because this is a part of how Canada was founded. And in fact, a key part was, the takeover of this land, and then the attempted erasure of Indigenous people on it. And so the education piece is huge. And I think, we need more Canadians to be pushing for this to be a part of the curriculum. But I think film is an incredibly powerful tool to do that. So I think it's very valuable.
Couldn't agree with you more. Now, this has been a very exciting time in your life. You have a film that premieres at the Toronto International Film Festival. You might, TIFF Tribute winner, just saying. So, I mean, congratulations on that. How have you been taking in that recognition? What has that meant for you?
Yeah, it's really been an incredible honor. It's taken so many years for me to get to this point, and it goes back even before the development of Night Raiders. It feels like it's been just a very long journey of working within the Indigenous film community, being a part of a community that's holding a collective vision for what could come to fruition if we were given the opportunities and resources. So to now see my film platformed at TIFF as a gala and then to get this award, it feels like it's a testament to something that we always said was possible and that is much bigger than me and my film. There's an incredible wave and explosion of Indigenous filmmakers that are coming onto the scene that really was a direct result of the advocacy that was done to say, open these doors. We have stories to tell, and this is going to benefit everybody once these stories get out into the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I definitely feel that there's a lot more Indigenous films that are, and with Indigenous filmmakers that are coming to the forefront. There was another film at TIFF, Wildhood, I believe it was called,
yes,
which is again a very strong film. So these are wonderful. I want to say wonderful, but these are stories that need to be told, and these are points of view that need to be shared. And I'm very excited for this to happen. What is your hope with Night Raiders now? In terms of when you're thinking of the audience that are going to be going to see this film, when they're leaving it, what is it that you want them to get out of it?
Well, I had always thought that it was so essential that this is a national conversation, and so I'm hoping that through genre and through this fresh entry point, that people who may not be otherwise engaged by this conversation at least get an introduction to this and what the film represents. And I really hope that it shows what the impacts of these colonial policies on Indigenous life, but also our resilience and just our humanity. And so I hope it promotes more empathy and understanding, and ultimately, if people feel inclined to support the things that we've been fighting for, that I hope that that's understood that this is for the health of our nation as a whole, not just for Indigenous people.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Now, I want to be conscious of our time. I want to play a quick, fun game with you that I do with all my interviewees, which is called Rapid Fire. I'm going to take you through a couple of questions and just give me the first thing that comes to your mind. These are meant to be nothing but fun. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, the first question is always, and you can't name your own, what is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh my God.
Because it's such a tough question, if you want to give me two or three, I'll take it.
Okay, I'll go with Children of Men. I'll just go with that.
Okay, wonderful. No explanation needed. Of course, you shared the stage with a lot of phenomenal people with the TIFF Tribute Awards. If you had the opportunity of spending the day with just one of your fellow TIFF Tribute Award winners from 2021, who would it be?
Of course, it would be Alani Sobomsawin, because she is a truth teller and the grandmother of Indigenous cinema, and you can never get tired of hearing her incredible stories, and also her always saying exactly what you need to hear.
Absolutely. Solid choice. Coming out of this year's Toronto Film Festival, what was one of your favorite moments?
Oh gosh, there was a crazy moment where I was going up to the after party and I got stuck in an elevator along with some of the cast, and we had to be rescued by the Toronto firefighters.
Oh, okay. Sub question. Was that just an excuse to hang out with the Toronto firefighters, or were you actually stuck?
Oh no, it was totally an excuse.
Okay, all right.
Who doesn't want firefighters at the party? Just saying.
There you go. There you go. My last rapid fire question, because I'm very conscious of the time that I have with you. What is the advice that you give to, because who better to talk about emerging filmmaking than yourself? What is the advice that you give to emerging filmmakers who are climbing the ladder, trying to achieve some level of success in this industry?
Yeah, just follow your interest, go one step at a time, and look for like-minded people to surround yourself with, so that you have a community around you to support what you're doing.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Danis. I really appreciate it. I wish you nothing but the best, not just with this project, but with all the other ones to come. Hopefully our paths will cross again. And I really appreciate the time today.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it too.
Okay, you take care.
Thanks.